Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Nasty Sanchez, and welcome back to some more Need for Speed Most Wanted. Here we are. That's the RX-8 I won from Izzy last time, and you'll be seeing I'm going to be using that in most of the episode, especially during the Big Lou boss fight. But, I'm just going to show you a little bit of what this can actually do. It has a very high acceleration rate compared to the Audi. Here I'm just going to show you just how it goes through just through these turns with a decent amount of speed for this early in the game. We just come around these corners and then hit the NOS, and we go way above what it was. I think we only needed to go like 100 to get that one, and we ended up 30 miles over. Like I said, that we also want to get that Eclipse from Lou, but we don't necessarily get it. But we can't get them all. I'm just gonna say that there is a pattern that you can follow, but you have to reload the game and keep beating Sunny with the first race to get that pattern. Here I'm showing you a drag race. I think this is an interesting part of the game that they added because it's a completely different racing style. You just go shift between each lane and have to make sure you don't over-rev your car, otherwise you blow your engine. And here I just do such a great job with the RX-8. He ends up creeping up on me at the end, but I'm still a good 100 yards in front of him. Just cruising through this really fast, hitting the NOS whenever I can. I'm in 6th gear, just wrecking them. You can see there right above the MPH. That's where he was in the photo. He was creeping up behind me. Now I thought this was interesting. These level 1 cops are really soft, but you usually have to go very slow to keep them up with you if you want to actually get a bounty going. Now, watch what happens here in my rearview mirror. And then here, I'm going to replay this for you guys. This stuff that I've run into now ends up flying into the cop and destroying his car, which leaves me with no cop to follow me, and that means I'm losing the cops. And this was just another interesting thing that happened while in the next chase. I was just driving, and then boom, there he is pulling a dumpster. He tries to pass it off to me, I just give it right back to him, and then yeah, that was about it. Now this is one of the first times this has ever happened to me. Just driving, and you'll see what happens. I run blankly into this giant invisible truck, the one that have the logs on it that you can actually use to, if you run into the side of them, they will drop logs and you can just use them to deter the cops. But right there, usually when you do reset, the cops get right on you, but since it was a game reset, it gave me a little bit of leeway, and it was just enough to not get busted. Like I said, that was just a little bit of a shorter part that was interesting that happened. I showed you a little bit of the RX-8. Now, this Eclipse is a very fast car. And I'm pretty sure, a lot of this goes through the tight turns areas. Not super tight turns, but now look at those character models in the gold cars. They are guys because the team was lazy and they only use one model for in the cars, and they don't have tinted windows, and yeah, it just makes them look really gay in my perspective. 'Cause if you roll up in a gang of people that are supposed to have sexy cars, and there's 2 dudes driving them, escorting you, maybe if they were trucks, 2 trucks or something, but golden Eclipses with just standard body kits and no, you would expect, I'm not trying to act sexist here, but you would expect a female, at least a female body character would be put into that car, and yeah, it just makes it look really gay. Right here, I do very well on these first 2 races. He ends up creeping up behind me in the next race. You'll see, if it would have been the last lap, it would have been the best race ever. But right here, I'm hitting the NOS a little bit, getting up there. and this is just a phenomenal race if you watch the whole thing, because you can see where he catches up, he gets in front of me, I catch up, and it's just a constant give and take. I mean, right now I'm just trying to hold my own. I mean, whenever I was doing this race, I was getting very spasmodic because it was just such an intense race that I didn't want to restart, because I mean, using the RX-8, it is a decent enough car that I know I can beat. But I mean, just with the little mistakes that I was making, he was getting right over my butt, up there towards the end. But I mean, here you see I usually hit most of the corners pretty well. I usually save my nonce for whenever I get in trouble. I mean, right here I end up hitting the corner. That's a very sloppy mistake. I probably could have hit that corner going about 110, and that's what he did. And he just straight up goes around and passes me, and then I'm like, oh crap. But then he ends up swerving away from that car, gives me a huge amount of time to make up. And then again with that super high acceleration, but I do manage to make him crash. He crashes into that little intersection there, and it gives me enough time to again get back up on my feet there a little bit. You know, I'm trying not to make any mistakes. And I didn't realize he crashed up until about this point whenever I see how far he is back there. And again, I was like, wow, I made a mess up again. He's supposed to be one of the better NPCs to go against. Again here, I'm just going through all these turns, I think, very nicely. I'm not losing too much speed, and my rear end's swinging around real nice. I mean, I'm not really going into any drifts, but I am swinging a little bit. Now, most of the time, if you watch his patterns, they usually follow the same pattern. Like, they go around loops and stuff, and you'll see how he does it, and the next race, on the last lap, and it makes it very nerve-wracking. I'm not going to try to spoil that for you guys, because that is a very intense race. Of course I win, but, I mean, just a very intense race to watch. Here we are again, I'm laying it out on the highway. He does have that very high acceleration uphill, and here just drifting in that turn a little bit too late, and hit that wall, and I was like, I swear if I mess this up. But I mean, yeah, I did have enough room from that high acceleration up that semi-highway part, and then yeah, just get it done. Now this race, just rewatching this race still gets me hyped about it. Starting off with a good perfect start there, just get ahead of him a little bit. Now he does use a shortcut, and that is very helpful actually towards the end, and it does give him a huge lead. I actually tried to go through that parking lot. I think I hit it on the third one, but I missed it in the next two. But I mean, just going into these curves semi-nicely, you know, I could be gripping asphalt a little bit better here. I tried to do a drift there, but I didn't want to use all my knots in order to keep my wheels spinning, so, you know, I should have probably cut this turn out a little bit wider, because you see how, yeah, hit the wall there, and then I got into a bad drift, had to waste some knots to get back up straight. Here, there is my rearview mirror just creeping up again, and then, man, that's it's just so nerve-wracking whenever you see him right about to pass you, and usually whenever you pull out in front of them, that doesn't work, because they do have such a high maneuverability that they can usually get around you. This really ends in a shortcut. It's more or less you either turn now or turn later. I'll show you whenever the shortcut comes up here, but I mean, yeah, on this video I tried to make it a little more, you know, a little more of interesting, not just me doing races. You know, I put some stuff that was going on during the police chase, and then just tried to make it a little more interesting for you guys, because I know some of these videos can be boring. Now, you see how he zoomed out in front of me right there? That is the shortcut that almost screws me over. I mean, it's just, you can just keep in the straightaway rather than doing a huge turn that wastes time and speed. And you see catch-up mode end up saving me here. I know I curse catch-up mode for races that usually go like I'm like a couple, like 2,000 feet in front of someone, and the catch-up mode saves them and then brings them back like right behind me. But here I am just praising catch-up mode right about now that they did let me, and excuse me, end up getting up through there. Now look at this finish. I was 0.01 seconds in front of him right there. That would have been such a good ending for me, but I mean, that was only the end of that lap, and is it the second lap? Yeah. And I mean, that's just amazing for me that like, if that would have ended right there in slow motion and it would have took a picture, that would have been so nice for me, because especially for the fact that I pinched him. Whenever he came up beside me there, I ended up just pinching him with my wheel, and I just drug him with me. And I stayed in front of him just enough to win that lap anyhow. The next lap is going to be a little less anticlimactic anyhow, but I mean, just right there, I mean, you can see how intense this game can get whenever you're playing it. Like, you see him coming up there, and if I wouldn't have pinched him there, he would have probably got the better of me on that lap. He would have definitely accelerated past me, and we would have been having some issues. I mean, here I am again, just, I think going through these turns decent, except for right there, he does catch up a decent amount, right? You can see him in my rearview mirror there a little bit. I mean, just going through the curves real nice in this RX-8. If I could put my Audi handling on this RX-8 speed right now, I would, and it would make me so happy, because the RX-8 is a faster car. But again, with that Audi, it does have really nice handling. Now I passed him again because he ended up trying to swerve out of the car, and he ended up hitting the brakes. Again, #1 rule: never hit the brakes, only off the accelerator. But I mean, there he just messed up big time, and you see, it's all because of that shortcut, and I keep missing that shortcut. And if it weren't for that shortcut, so much more would be going good. But again, here I am just running through this. I ended up buying, off camera, I bought a Lancer, an Evo Lancer, and I think that's a decent car. It has a lot of work to be done on it. Like with the Evo, it does, I think it said it was an Evo 8. I'm not sure how, like if that's the actual name of it, but you know, it was a Mitsubishi Evo Lancer. I always wanted to try it, just wanted to try something new. I'm probably going to be using it in the next episode. Like I said, I might not use it right away because I do need to build up some income to spend on it, you know. I did do visual first because you can't have a bad looking car. I mean, if anything, you can win a race just by car's looks. People will be like, you deserve to win this race. Just let you win. But I mean, it is a decent starting car. Again, it's probably my slowest car yet though. And I mean, I'm just happy that I got it, because I mean, it's a bigger car. I'm probably going to be using it for police chases because it can build up that momentum. Now, coming up here, you're going to want to watch, because this is whenever he ends up beating me to this shortcut. And I get so bummed. I'm like, no, this can't be happening right now. Like, this isn't going to happen. This isn't going to work. And then here on the shortcut, and then I realized, oh, I have NOS. You know, we both use the same amount. I'm about 10 miles faster than him at that point, and I just go right past him. You know, I'm feeling very confident about myself. Here we are coming up to the end of this lap. Just cruising right through this, getting that huge acceleration, hitting about 160. But then here's where I start to cry. Right around here, you know, get a little bit slowed down, hit the NOS. And I'm like, oh, it's okay, because he never hits the shortcut. And I curve into it, look in my rearview mirror, guess who's right on my butt? And I'm like, no, you know, here we are, straight away I hit whatever NOS that helped out with, and right through. Barely won by the skin of our teeth, but it works, it all works. You know, I end up getting some money and a get out of jail free card from Up next we have Baron. He drives a Cayman, a Porsche Cayman S. We need to get that Porsche Cayman S if we are gonna do anything, because again, the Eclipse would have been really nice, but the Cayman S would be a lot better. I mean, having them both would have been great, but I mean, here, you seen I took a risk and tried to get the pink slip, ended up missing it twice. Very disappointing, because I ended up losing a Junkman part then, and with my luck, it probably would have been an engine, and that's one of the most important parts. You want the engine, transmission, NOS, and supercharge. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm probably just going to be saving up income, trying to win their cars, so I don't have to waste so much money on mine, and just, yeah, just play through it, you know. I'm probably going to be doing another big cop chase or two in the next episode. You know, Baron, you know, business boy, right there, he ends up driving that Cayman and puts those really bad racing flames on it, and we're gonna have to do something about that. Yeah, but I mean, hopefully we get the Cayman next episode, and yeah, I'm Nfs Sanchez signing off. See ya.